Hey, do you have an undivided interest in land and you want to sell it, but you don't want to get tricked out of any money? I have a client that called me to look at this property in Louisiana. It's well over 100 acres. She owns 50% of it. A stranger owns the other 50% of it because one of her family members years ago sold their half to this gentleman. That gentleman has been trying to buy out my client for the last few years, and she's afraid she's being tricked. She called me because I've sold property for her in the past. I've got a good relationship with her. We've had good business, and she trusts me. I'm out here looking at this property at my expense. I'm not going to make anything out of it other than having the satisfaction of knowing I'm helping out an old client. Now that I've looked at the property, I have a good idea what it's worth, and it's worth a good bit more than she's been offered for her half of the property. Here's the three things that I'm going to tell her, and these three things will apply to you as well. If you have undivided interest and somebody's trying to buy you out, or if you're wanting to sell it and get out of it, but you don't want to get tricked out of any money. Now, if you don't know what undivided interest is, there's a video at the end that you need to watch, and it'll be helpful to you. But in this scenario, I'm going to tell my client to do one of three things. Number one, negotiate with the guy to get a better offer from him on her half of the deal. Now, that's only going to go so far because he's still going to come out on the high end of this deal if she sells to him, because he's only going to pay so much for her half of the property. So she's probably not going to negotiate much, and she's certainly not going to negotiate up to the point that the property's really worth. Number two, she can do a make me a number technique. And I've done this in the past. We've been in business with people, had partners in deals, and one partner or the other wants out for whatever reason, and we do the make me a number technique. And what that is she just simply says to him, hey, you make me a number and I'll either accept it for my half of the property, or I'll give you that same amount for your half of the property. That way it puts him on the spot to kind of fish or cut bait. Now, she'll have an advantage in that because she's going to know what the property's worth because I'm about to tell her. So she won't be doing that blindly. Now, a lot of times when you do the make me a number technique with people who aren't business people, who aren't usual partners with you in a deal, they're going to start squirming and hem-hawing around. They're going to start coming up with all kind of reasons and excuses why that's not a good idea, why they can't do that. That's a good indication that you're usually about to be taken advantage of. The make me a number plan works well. Hey, keep in mind, if you do the make me a number technique, you got to be willing to buy out that other half of the property at the amount the person made you. So you got to have the financial ability to follow through on that deal. Otherwise, it's just a bluff and you're right back where you started. Third thing she can do, divide the property to actually partition this tract and say, let's have this thing surveyed. You take out your half, I'll take out my half. You do whatever you want with your half, I'll do whatever I want with my half. That's a great idea in principle, but a lot of times it's hard to get it done because it's hard for everybody to agree on which half is theirs. One will say, oh, the timber's better here, or oh, you've got better road frontage there, or that sort of thing. Sometimes it's very hard to divide or partition an undivided tract, but that's the best solution. Then she can put her half on the market and sell it for what it's worth. He can do whatever he wants with his half. They go their separate ways. Those are the three things I'm going to tell her. Things I would tell you too. Thanks for watching our videos. There's some more right there. Check them out.